recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. On June 20th, the President putatively ended his scandalous and dangerous family separation policy, but family separations are still happening at the border under a shadowy set of rules that apparently do not offer sufficient accountability or due process. The January Homeland Security OIG report found that at least 118 kids had been separated from their parents and placed in HHS care after the supposed end of the separation policy. The numbers may even be higher. In the ongoing lawsuit over family separation, the federal government just admitted that at least 245 families have been separated since late June. When the Texas Civil Rights Group followed up on these cases, it found the parents often had no idea that they were being separated from their children or why. Dozens of other kids were also separated from adult siblings, cousins, grandparents, or other relatives. Now, there can be valid health or safety reasons to separate a child from a parent, such as where there are signs of child abuse or trafficking. But DHS does not appear to have a principled or consistent policy on family separations and it doesn't give HHS enough information to know whether the separations are in fact justified. So let me start with you, Chief Provost, if I may. Since the President's executive order, how many children have been separated from their parents who were apprehended by CBP, either at ports of entry or between the ports?
I can speak to the numbers between the ports of entry, the area that I have. We have 304.
Okay. Who makes the determination to separate a child from his or her parent or legal guardian, and what are the criteria used in that process?
The criteria used are if they have a serious criminal conviction, if they have a medical condition, meaning the parent may have a medical condition and need to be hospitalized, if it's in the welfare of the child, if they present a danger to the child. Those are the instances in which we would separate them. As I stated
Can I just ask you about that one? So what's the character of the inquiry or investigation about the welfare of the child? Are there social workers involved in that process?
As I said before, this is a temporary separation because we have to place into ICE custody. We work with the consulates as well, just like ICE does. We work with our counsel when it comes to the criminality issue in relation to them. ICE is not going to take somebody into their family residential centers where a parent has a serious criminal conviction, like I stated earlier.
So criminal conviction I get, because that seems like something that's definable. You can see it on paper. It exists. And if they have a medical condition, obviously, if they're suffering a heart attack or something, they can't take care of the kids. But welfare of the child, as we know, is a very big, slippery standard. And so who's making that decision? The customs agent?
My agents working with our counsel, the consulates, we make an initial determination, and we err on the side of the caution for the child based on laws on the books. We are following TVPRA. We are following for the concern of the child. But do
the parents have an opportunity to be heard during that process?
Of course. We interview them.
Is the decision to divide them from their children, is that an appealable decision?
Yes, that is not that, as I stated before, that is a temporary. We give the parents information when we do the separation. We do track all of this, and we provide the information to HHS.
Do you have written guidance for the agents?
We have guidance that has gone out on it since the executive order. And
can we see a copy of that? Can you show us the guidance? Do you have a copy of that guidance?
We can provide that guidance.
Could you, and so this goes out to every agent and say, here are the steps that you follow?
We sent the guidance out once the executive order came out, and then, of course, Ms. L., after that, we provided further guidance.
Okay. Do CBP officers receive training about how to make these determinations?
We receive training about dealing with family members from day one at the Border Patrol Academy. We are trained every year on TVPRA and on Flores. That's a recurring training for our agents on the law.
It's been reported that DHS may be separating U.S. citizen children from their parents at the border as well. Is that right?
I'm not sure in relation to...
Well, if their parents are non-citizens, but they're citizens, then there have been cases like that.
That would not be a reason for a separation from our perspective on it. There
Okay.
would have to be the other circumstances that would revolve around it from border.
Okay, finally, does any federal government agency have the responsibility to track all of these children who've been separated from their kids today?
We provide that information to HHS. I don't know if the commander wants to weigh in, or Mr. Lloyd.
Yeah. So any child referred to us, then we have responsibility to track those children.
Okay, so if someone is missing his or her child because they've been separated, you would be able to locate them today?
Yes.
Gentleman's time has expired.
To clarify, ORR can identify at any given moment the location of every single child in care. We are also able, where appropriate, to say to whom we released a child, but we do not have any authority or oversight over a child who has been released from our care.
Thank you.